Hey, we're back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. And Leah, you might keep this joke handy about the lottery. Did you hear that?
No.
At breakfast, and you could flip it. You could say, so at breakfast, the wife says to the husband, what would you do if I won the lottery? And he says, well, I'd take my half and leave. And she says, great, here's $6. I won $12 yesterday. Stay in touch.
That's a good way to get rid of him, I guess.
Yeah, so you can flip it around and all that.
That's hilarious.
Well, good. Well, how are things at CVE?
Things are good. We've had a busy week, and we're getting back on track with getting involved with our community, and really, really hoping that the latest COVID incidents don't slow us down.
Right. There's a lot of cases, but hopefully everybody will get infected. Well, see, I don't want to say it that way because I don't want people to think I want people to get COVID, because you don't want to get COVID.
You don't.
But perhaps this will kind of work its way through, and then we'll get back to normal. First day of school is tomorrow.
Right.
And you guys have been at CVE have been doing some things to help the teachers get ready to go.
Yes, we were invited to do the Bulldog Beginnings, which is the kickoff for the new teacher breakfast, this week on Monday. So we got to meet some of the new teachers, and there was more than 40 that have been hired on in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not in a classroom, but also, maybe an administrative position, or maybe janitors or anything like that. So they have quite a new crew, with still some new people coming on board. So it was nice to see folks. I got to see a gal I went to high school with, used to work with back home, and hadn't seen her in a long time. So that was super nice. And then today we are at the meet and greet at the administration building. So we have a booth there, and we're giving away a few things that might be handy in the classroom for teachers. So we look forward to seeing everybody, and we're set up and ready to go as soon as we leave here.
As soon as you leave, because I know they've had all kinds of different training and orientations and things like that that they're doing to get ready to go for the first day of school tomorrow here in Artesia. So
we're happy to get involved with all that kind of stuff, because we didn't get to last year. And then hopefully we'll get on the schedule to do our safety demonstrations, and that should start September, October, and maybe wrap that up by the end of the year, depending on what their schedules are going to be like. So
now, do you have different levels of safety demonstrations? Like, are there some that are more classroom oriented, and then do you have some that are in the field for field trips?
That is very true. So the tabletop demonstration that we utilize is typically for 5th grade students. Now, when we go to Penasco, because their classrooms are somewhat combined, we just do the whole elementary school each year. So it's a little different, but it's always fun to go there. And then we do the coloring contest, which has some safety components to it for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders. And then the larger high voltage arcing demonstration we do out in the community. We do it for businesses. We've done it at the schools. They've let us into the ag department through that big garage door to bring that in, and we hope to do that again too. You kind of have to be aware of their curriculum and when it fits into what they're teaching. So we try to stay on top of that too.
But it's probably, you mentioned businesses that you do for businesses. I'm guessing people that work in the oil field.
Yes.
People that are out there where there's power lines, where they may come in contact with high voltage lines and things like that.
That's
probably
exactly
not a bad demonstration for them.
Right. And as a matter of fact, we were invited to come up to the Roswell and Chaves County Economic Development Corporation's next board meeting, and we'll host it at ENMUR in the Aviation Center, because that's where we usually go every year anyway. Again, we didn't get to go last year, but the Aviation Center there lets us use their facility, and we also get to teach their students what it's like and what to be aware of around those power lines when they're flying, when they get to that point, or whatever the case might be. So we do a lot of the oil companies. We focus mostly in Eddy County for the oil companies, but we do have some that have offices in Lee County. So if we need to, work that direction, we can. It's just got to be within our business day, so it makes it easier for us to travel.
No, that's right. That's right. And you mentioned the aviation classes and people flying, and this is totally. You and I did not talk about this ahead of time. It just kind of came into my mind when you said that. I wonder how much drones are having an impact on power lines and power companies and utility companies. When people are now flying these things around, they're checking well sites, they're checking towers, they're doing all kinds of stuff with the drones.
Yes.
Have you guys got a drone yet?
We don't yet, but we do have a video of a drone that a drone took of our facility. It's kind of a testing situation to see if it might be beneficial for us to have, because they can go in, they can look through our substations, when we're not able to be there in person, if there's something going on. And so I imagine it's just a matter of time before we are able to do that. But one of the questions that a lot of the students ask us, and if they don't ask us throughout the demonstration, then we ask them at the end. So on our display, and we don't have it on the large arcing demonstration, but we talk about it.
Right.
But on the small tabletop, we have a little orange ball on the wire.
Okay. Yes.
You know what those little orange balls are for?
Well, my assumption was I see them near airports. I'm assuming they're to let the pilots know that there's power lines as they're getting ready to land near an airport.
That's right. So they're markers.
Okay.
For anybody, because when they're flying or coming in, or if they're in a helicopter or a plane, they can't really see what's below them. So those mark any type of lines, and typically always by airports and then by hospitals. So when they have the folks coming in and out. There is some over at the ConocoPhillips office, the old Concho building, the old Marbob building, because they had planes and helicopters coming in and out of there. Yeah. So it's kind of unique to Artesia to have one right by Walmart.
Sure, yeah. No, but I bet that is a curiosity for some of the kids. Like you said, either comes up in the Q&A or during the demonstration.
We try to hold off till the very end to see if somebody will ask. And if they don't ask, the way that we kind of phrase it is, okay, we have one last question for you. And then some of them will know right off the bat what it means, and the others are like, oh, what is it? What is it? So anyway, that's a little tad. And we also do the birds. Why is the bird safe on the wire? And that gets a lot of attention. They have special feet. Their feet are made of rubber. We get all kinds of comments. But
I'm guessing it's because they're not in contact with the ground.
That's right. So they're on the same...
They're not completing the circuit.
Right, exactly. So right now they're on the same line. So if they touch another line or they touch the ground, then of course they're going to be, like Raylan says, fried chicken.
X birds.
Yeah.
or to quote Monty Python, an X parrot.
Right.
So
I think that level of learning really is good for fifth graders. They seem to really, really understand, and they ask some of the best questions. So we learn stuff from the kids just as much sometimes as they learn from us. So it's nice I look forward to doing those presentations. They're fun. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to inquire about that kind of a schedule, or maybe they've got a group of people they want to get together for that, they give you or Raylan a call?
Absolutely, at 575-746-3571. And we've done them at the library in the summertime. We can do a tabletop demonstration anywhere. It can go to a business as well. The high voltage arcing demonstration, like you said, is more in tune for people who are using large equipment. And we do, for accidents happen from time to time, and usually we're there to do that training within just a month or two for that facility, so that they can teach their other employees not to have those same issues. The safety programs at different oil companies require different follow-up procedures, and we're just happy to be a part of that too.
Yeah. So with today's steel-belted radial tires, is it still safer to be in the car?
Yes, radial has metal. Radial tires have metal in the tires. So yes, it's safer to stay in the car, but the tires are not going to keep you safe.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's safer to be in the car.
Don't get out of the car, because if you get out of the car and you touch the car, then you become that path for the electricity to go to the ground. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's coming through the tires.
Right, because the tires are not going to save you.
Yeah, but it's still safer to stay in the car.
Simply because you don't want to touch two things at once. If it's on fire, and that's what we tell people, if it's on fire, open up the vehicle, whether it's a school bus, because we usually use school bus, whether it's a winch truck or a car or a pickup. You have to put both feet on the ground when you get out of that vehicle. You have to be able to shuffle away safely. You can't hop or jump very safely.
Right.
So we tell people to shuffle. Heel to toe, until you can get away from that area.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty cool. Or do the moonwalk.
if it doesn't pick your feet up off the ground. So
Well, that's been so long ago now, there's probably not too many people that remember.
people
that.
used to tell apparently students to do the bunny hop, but not everybody's steady on their feet. So shuffling from heel to toe provides a safer exit to get
Yeah.
away from a vehicle. But that's kind of a last ditch effort.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I knew because, back in the day, tires were mostly rubber.
Yeah.
But now with all the steel belts and everything, they're and then you've got sensors and battery detectors and all these other kind of things. Are you truly insulated by the tires? But that's
not really true.
Not really the case. Yeah. And I guess now that you've got and by the way, Mr. Seifert said your demonstrations are fabulous.
You know what? And he allowed us to go into the classroom, and he got so many of the other departments together. So we did the ag classes, we did like the welding shop kids. We miss him. He was really good about putting those in place for us. So, hey, Mr. Seifert.
I know he listens all the time. So
That's
we
good.
Appreciate that. No, because that's one of those things you just don't know. And then we don't have time to talk about it today, or maybe just touch on it a little bit. But one of the things that the CVE is learning about is safety when you have an electric vehicle.
Yes.
Because Central Valley Electric does have a all-electric vehicle that you guys drive around from time to time.
We do, and you know what? It's just low maintenance. There's very little maintenance to it at all. You plug it in, you go your places, plug it in once a week.
Yeah.
The gals run around and do their errands, and we haven't taken it on any big road trips yet, but we're looking to do that maybe in September.
Yeah.
So.
Either that or, Joby and Robbie, when they go to a football game, might need somebody to...
Oh, my gosh. It's kind of scary. We were trying to find some routes for charging, even between here and Ruidoso, because we have meetings in Ruidoso next month, and there's charging stations in Roswell. There's a few that are open to the public in Ruidoso, but that's only if residents of the hotel are not using it. So
right.
It's a little iffy yet.
Yeah, it's coming.
It is coming.
It's not quite here just yet, but have you seen the ones behind the McDonald's?
McDonald's, yes. You sent me that picture.
They've got 4 of them now.
Or maybe I sent you the picture. Somebody sent me the picture.
I think I sent you the picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got four charging stations over there.
Well, they do too at the UFO McDonald's.
Yeah, well, it's the same ownership.
Yeah.
So they'll probably be down in Carlsbad at some point. And I think the owner of the McDonald's owns an electric car.
Okay.
So there's a little personal desire to have those in there. Not necessarily. I mean, I'm sure it's for the customers, of course, but when he goes to visit his places, he can plug his electric car in. So.
Well, and I've learned that if you have the situation like you do here at McDonald's, because there's 2 for each port, and if you're charging on one side, you can't charge on the other. Yet.
Okay.
I guess they're trying to get to that point.
Okay.
But if you're plugged in on one side, so I don't know why it's beneficial to have 2 in one port.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess. Well, I don't know. We're not involved in that discussion just yet. So
we'll figure it out in the future.
That's right. Well, very good. Well, Leah, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
If folks want to get a hold of you or Raylyn and talk
Come
about...
by the office, give us a call, go to our website, cvecoop.org, 575-746-3571. We, as long as everybody's safe and secure, we're ready to get out there.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
And that's going to be it for the show.